I am assuming that Kandi Burruss feels this way towards Phaedra Parks and also the network. What's up, Peep Squad? Peep Squad is in the building, baby. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It'll be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart. My peeps, my peoples, Peep Squad is in the building. Let's get down to the situation. Let's talk about Kandi Burruss. She was feeling a certain type of way, baby, when she did an interview with Access or whatever the case is, and she said one of the things that she said in her interview that she will always be triggered. Anything from season 9 being brought up, that she will always be triggered. She will always have a problem. She will always be like, that bitch did that to me. So basically Kandi's out here saying that she ain't forgave and she ain't forgive anybody. So you guys talking about bringing Phaedra Parks back to the situation, it's going to be a problem because she's already triggered, and she's also using terminology as triggered. She'll be triggered if she comes back because she suffered a deep hurt. So you guys let me know what you think about this situation. So is Kandi saying this because of the rumors that was over there at the Sun that producers are basically wanting to bring Phaedra Parks back to the show? So in any event, Kandi's let it be known that she has the issue and she has a problem and she will be triggered, and you know, she's always going to be upset. She's always going to feel a certain type of way that these people did this to her. You know, she's talking about Phaedra Parks, number one, and number two, you know, she's talking about Miss Porsha Williams, but she can move on with Porsha as far as filming with Porsha, you know, showing up to events with Porsha, you know, doing things of that nature together. But you know, trust and relationship, that's not gonna happen because there's some things that went down, and sometimes they go good and sometimes they go bad. But in any event, she said that she was gonna be triggered. It's enough that Porsha's there, but if you bring Phaedra Parks, it's gonna be a problem. So you guys let me know what you think about that situation. So let's get into it. Let's talk about what Kandi had to say. Let's talk. She talked about LaToya. I was like, damn, she, you know, she is defending LaToya, sticking up for LaToya and everything. I was like, I didn't see this much energy from Miss Kenya Moore. You know, you wanted to stay neutral. Why isn't Kandi Burruss staying neutral when it comes to the situation with LaToya and Sidora? You know what I mean? And especially, you know, if she's not even close to LaToya forever, because on Kandi's show, Speak On It, Kandi basically said that they're not really that close, and even LaToya basically was like, you know, we are not that close, but my ex-husband Adam is close to Todd, and they chill out and they have a good relationship and they have a good friendship, you know, but us, it just didn't happen like that. And basically LaToya forever was saying that she is closest, you know, to Kenya Moore. So is Kandi Burruss trying to get into good favor with LaToya forever? Like, what's going on with this situation? Because she is sticking up for her like, damn, like LaToya's on her payroll, like they work together. When LaToya basically said that, you know, she didn't click with Kandi because Kandi's too busy and things just didn't work out like it was supposed to be, and her and Kenya talk every day on the phone or every other day. So you guys let me know what you think about that situation. But in any event, you know, Kandi was basically like, you know, Drew was coming after, you know, LaToya. She done sent some people over there to her dressing room to shake her up, you know, while she was getting dressed and while they were recording. Sidora did that, you know, basically putting it out. Oh my gosh, she is just horrible. She's doing too much. She talked about the situation with Drew and the pastor. The Drew and the pastor or Prophet Lot, yes, that was a little bit too much in the gag gift, but it's like Kandi feels like this situation she can just speak on and just go ham on the situation. But when it comes to Porsha and Kenya Moore, it's like she don't want to be bothered. She don't want to, you know, say anything about the situation. But in any event, maybe she was really just ticked off at Drew. But you know, a lot of people are saying Drew did too much or whatever, and Kandi acting like she feels that way about, you know, Sidora, that she's doing too much when it comes to LaToya. But LaToya started it with Sidora. She came after Sidora first, and Sidora basically has just been trying to finish the situation. But Sidora did too much when it came to Kenya Moore, because Kenya Moore was really trying to be cool with Drew, give her some information, just try to talk to her, and not really go there with her, but it went there. So it is what it is. So you guys let me know what you think about that situation. I was like, Lord, it was basically like, OMG. She was like, oh, LaToya has no filter. LaToya is this. LaToya says whatever comes out of her mouth. I was like, okay, that's cool, but that's not really cool. That's not how, you just can't just be walking up on people and disrespecting them and talking to them all crazy for no reason at all and trying to hurt their feelings just because you feel like you're just so outspoken and no filter. And LaToya is 34 years old. When you're going to grow up and Porsha Williams done jumped on the Instagram and basically saying that, hey, listen, she didn't do nothing wrong to Kandi. Nene Leakes didn't do nothing wrong with Kandi. It was misinterpreted by a blogger and Kandi got upset and all that other good stuff. So, in any event, Kandi Burruss is saying that she don't be putting on and she don't do none of that stuff. She's not over the top. I was like, okay, so Kandi's basically is saying that, she is not over the top and she don't be putting on for the camera. So who is she throwing shade at? She could be throwing shade at a number of people. So what is it, Kandi? Who you throwing shade at? Who is over the top and who be putting on for people? Are you talking about Drew? Are you talking about Porsha? Are you talking about Nene? Like, who you talking about? You talking about LaToya? Maybe not. But in any event, Kandi Burruss basically said she responds to the situation as a normal person because the compliment that she was given was, you handle things so well, like the way that you carry yourself and the way you talk to people. And she was like, I'm different. I just want to be normal and I want to respond, typically like a normal person would respond. Not that I'm saying that the ladies are not normal. I was like, well, who's not normal? So I'm thinking that shade is totally at Sidora, because Sidora, her mother and her and her husband be playing church on Sunday and they got some issues. So I think Kandi's coming for Drew on that situation. But in any event, because when it comes to Drew, her situation with Bolo, then exposing LaToya when she was trying to get saved and not drink. And then Kandi Burruss was asked about, Kenya Moore and Mark Daly. And what, Kandi Burruss responded to the situation like, girl needs to stand up for herself. She needs to wake up. She needs to move on. She said sometimes she just wants to shake Kenya Moore. But also she understands where Kenya Moore is coming from. And Kandi says that she does like Mark Daly. She had a chance to, hang out with him outside of the group. And she does like him. But damn, Kenya needs to move on with that situation. I was like, Lord have mercy. She was asked about her friendship and she said sometimes they're cool, sometimes they're not, sometimes it goes to a weird place. So I guess it's at a weird place right now. We know it's weird because Porsha was out here speaking on Instagram and defending herself and Miss Nene Leakes. So it is what it is. And, when it comes to Kandi was like, sometimes we cool, sometimes we not. Our friendship has, had a lot of disruption, a lot of disturbance. We went through a whole lot, this season, whether you were supposed to spill the beans on Porsha or no, and you gave a lot of hints to what Porsha did and what went down with the situation, what time Bolo left, how much more you had to pay him. You was talking to Don Juan about the situation. So, it is what it is. She didn't come out directly say anything, but she said Kenya Moore isn't lying. So in any event, yes, they are in a strange place because of the dungeon. And kill with Porsha and everything, whether they make progress or not, but they cool right now. It'll never be the trust that they had. It'll never go back to where it was. But every time anything from season 9 is brought up and she's triggered, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a situation. So basically, she said she tolerated Porsha and she can. And also she was asked about, the reunion, the dungeon thing. She said, the dungeon thing came through because of what went down in season 9 and Marlo brought that up. Marlo was talking about the situation. So basically she's saying Marlo brought it up, and we know Marlo did bring it up on stage for the reunion because Marlo said, why do we have the thing of the dungeon? It's because of that lion bee over there. And then she was talking about Porsha Williams. So the whole season kind of went back to the dungeon, and Kenya Moore was telling Kandi Burruss that what she did to you, Kandi. She lied on you. She did this to you. You need to speak up. You need to say something. So this is where I believe Kandi Burruss is saying there's so much going on that basically caused Porsha and Kandi Burruss to not as move smoothly along as she would have liked to. But in any event, she's always triggered. So she's letting Bravo know that she's always triggered. She said whenever there's flashbacks that are played, she is triggered. So she's letting Bravo know this ain't nor the time or the place to bring Phaedra Parks back. And you also know the situation with her best friend Tiny, and she supports Tiny, and Tiny and T are being accused of a whole lot of things that nobody in this world want to be accused of or being involved in, and nobody wants to be a victim when it comes to the stories that have been told on T.I. and Tiny, which is allegedly. But in any event, bringing Phaedra Parks back is going to bring more wind to the fire of Kandi Burruss and that situation that went down, where allegedly, Phaedra Parks told Porsha that Kandi and Ty would do this and do that, kind of the same things that Tiny and T.I. is accused of. Where does she want to go from here? Is she gonna stay? Is she gonna go? She said, well, she never really understands, what she should do. Plays it out. So something that I always used to hear Nene say, when she was trying to get more money and letting the network know that she's having a problem. So I don't know if Kandi Burruss is letting the network know, that she's having a problem by basically bringing up like, hey, listen, I don't know if I'm coming back or not, but sometimes I just got to weigh it out and measure it because I'm not really sure, because maybe they want me back, maybe they don't want me back, but, it'll be a mutual decision. The way that she's speaking is how Nene-Leakes was speaking before her departure from Real Housewives of Atlanta. So I guess Kandi's out here saying, like, listen, if there's any truth to the story about, the Phaedra Park situation, nah. We ain't playing that situation. We're not playing like that, because Nene did the same thing. So we'll see what's going to happen with this situation. So Kandi Burruss is not here, for any of the nonsense with Phaedra Parks coming back. And she says, you never really know how it's going to end. You don't know what's really going to happen. She's always contemplating, always thinking, when is it her time to go? She don't know. It might be her time to go. It might not be her time to go. It will be a mutual choice. It will be a mutual decision. And then she was asked, well, what about Nene-Leakes, So hopefully you don't leave the way that Nene-Leakes left. And I was like, Lord, she said she's not going to speak on that. But she said she does not feel like, Kandi Burruss says she does not feel like she would leave in a situation like Nene-Leakes did, because, she's in a good place with him. She has a better relationship and things of that nature, that she's close to the network. So at least she says she hopes not. She says she hopes not, because they might bring Phaedra Parks back and she got to either take it or not take it. But in any event, she's not here for the Phaedra Parks or anybody from Phaedra Parks, existence to come through. So